Today we have a new product for you. It is the Noorio 100% wireless indoor-outdoor video camera. I'm Robert, you're watching Locksmith Recommended. For my subscribers, Noorio is going to give away one of these camera systems. Stay tuned to the end of this video and find out how. All right, let's take a quick look inside the box and see what this came with. This is the camera itself. Feels nice and heavy duty. I kind of like it. It is indoor outdoor, so it is weather rated. This is where it connects to the battery charger. Now this is 100% wireless. The battery on this lasts for up to 6 months. This is the traditional mounting bracket. If you want to secure this in a more traditional way, this will bolt into wherever you're installing it. You can screw it in, and that allows you to adjust the camera and bolt it on the outside. When I first saw this camera, what I found very interesting was this mounting bracket. So there's this piece, which you can screw into the wall, or it comes with a 3M sticky tape so that you could stick it to the wall. It rotates, locks it in place, and stays there. But what I found very interesting about this is also magnetic. You don't even have to screw it in. You just slap it up to the metal. The metal will hold it. This is also magnetic, so that when these pieces come together, wham, it stays anywhere. Here's your charging cable. If you're like me, you don't want to mess with batteries at all, even though this is really easy to remove. You could just plug in a Type-C solar panel. However, this has a weatherproof piece of rubber on it, so you need to be aware if you do that, you may impact its weather resistance. Now, Noorio is coming out with their own solar panel that will maintain that integrity, and as soon as it's available, I'll put a link to it down below in the description. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to download the app and get this connected to the app. Okay, I'm in. Let's add the device. Scan the QR code on the back of the device. Give the camera a name. Connect it to the network. Press and hold the sync button for 2 seconds. That's this little button on the back of the camera right there.
Device was added successfully.
But I'm going to install it later. Let's talk about some of the features of this camera first. This one is a 1080p, but they have another version of this that is 2K that's only slightly more expensive. I'll put a link to both of those products down below in the description if you want to take a look at them. Also has a spotlight that you can use. It's good for night vision. Turns on a spotlight so that you can see people in color. We'll demo that later. Has two-way voice so you can talk to whoever you capture on video. It comes with a auditing system so that it will not alert you or grab video for objects smaller than a human. You can turn that off, but that's good if you want to extend battery life. So if you got squirrels or dogs or something running across the yard, it's not going to trigger the motion and turn on the camera. This is local storage. So this has 8 gigabytes of memory inside of this camera. Now, if you want more than that, they do have a cloud storage option, which is going to give you some benefits, but you don't need monthly fees. And if you've seen my channel, you know I hate monthly fees. It'll also give you the capability, and we'll talk about that a little bit later, to set up activity zones. So you won't trigger the camera unless something crosses into that activity zone. The other thing I want to mention is you just saw me go through the setup and I connected it to my Wi-Fi. I have a dual band router, automatically toggles between 2.4 and 5 gigahertz. This sorted through all that. You need a 2.4 gigahertz connection to connect this camera, and it's still connected to my dual band router. I didn't need any extra devices, or I didn't have to set up my router for a dedicated 2.4 gigahertz. This was smart enough to sort through that. Let's go out now. I'm gonna set it up. I'm gonna monitor for a couple days. Then we'll come back and we'll show you the features that are available in the app. We'll show you some video, and we'll show you what it's capable of doing. We'll be right back. My house has this flashing, goes all the way around it. Boom! Install complete. Let me show you one more time in case you missed it. I'm done with the installation. Nice and high up so somebody can't just get to it, and I think I'm gonna leave it right here. How'd you like that install? Pretty sweet, right? So I've had this camera running for, I think 4 or 5 days now, and I gotta tell you, I'm really impressed with it. Not only was it super easy to install, but the thing I really like about this app is if you're not on the Wi-Fi network that the camera's installed on, you could still access all the archived video. Now, we've done other video camera reviews where that's not possible. That is a big plus of this system. I really like that a lot. The picture on it looks really, really clear. Here's a live shot of mine right now. Over the course of this install, we had several storms come through, didn't have a problem with any of that. Let's go in and look at some of the settings and tell you what we think about those. Here's the main screen of the app. That's not a live picture. That's something that was grabbed last night. It tells you how many new screen captures you have, and I've got 3 of them. Gives you your current battery life. You have a couple of ways to access the video captures. You can go into the Events tab, and that will show you everything that it's grabbed. Or you could just simply go into the device, and the device has a nice little scroll through algorithm so that you can just scroll back and forth through the events and see what's been captured. So here we are grabbing somebody come through on the bike. Now I should mention the human detection on this is phenomenal. It did not trigger when I pulled my cars in and out of the garage. It did not trigger when dogs or cats came through my property. It only triggered on a human, and it worked really, really well. All right, let's go in and take a look at the motion detection settings. You have some settings in here for sensitivity. The way that my camera is set up, I need about a 30-foot field of view right in front of my camera. But if I go to 30 feet, I'm actually going to grab people on the sidewalk, and I don't want that. So you have the ability to adjust not only your sensitivity so that you can adjust how far it's going to be sensitive to, but if you click on it, you have the ability to adjust zones where it's going to detect motion. So here are the 2 zones that I have set up. I want to detect anybody that comes onto my porch. I want to detect anybody that's approaching the camera. By setting these zones, you're not going to detect the people that are on the sidewalk, but I'm still going to get that range necessary to detect the people on my porch. Now, zones on all the camera systems that I've tried don't work exceptionally well, but they do work to some extent. And if you put these zones in here like this, it did work fairly well to eliminate the traffic that I was getting from the sidewalk. In your video settings, you can go back and forth between HDR mode, which is just a little bit clearer picture. You can see what happens here. There's an example picture. You turn it on, you just get a little more brightness, a little bit clearer picture. You can also set video mode. Now, video mode is interesting. You could do full color mode, which is going to turn that light on the camera. Here's a clip at night of that light coming on. And when you have full color mode, your night vision, because the light comes on, will be filmed in color. If you just go to night vision mode, you get it in black and white, but the light doesn't come on. Now, here's the thing about this camera. I love the fact that I don't have to pay for the memory, but the memory is actually stored in the camera itself. If somebody sees they're being filmed, grabs the camera and runs off, they've got the video, you can't access it. So personally for me, I would keep it in night vision mode to not turn on that light unless that camera is way out of reach. Also on that camera is a little red LED, and when it's filming, it lights up red. You can enable that or disable it. It turns red and somebody sees it, they're gonna know they're being filmed, so maybe you want to disable it so that they don't go after the camera itself. So here's a capture of the camera, somebody walking by on the sidewalk. You can pinch in and zoom. You can scroll as well. When you're looking at an event, you do have the ability to download that to your phone so that it could be stored on your phone away from the camera. You can also mark things as favorited. You could filter on all those videos too, so you could filter by favorite, etc. Now, you could set this for away mode. If you set it for away mode and something triggers the camera, it'll actually set off an alarm. It's very, very loud. There's a nice little feature here too where you can disarm the camera. So maybe you don't want it going off because you've got people coming in and out of the house for a party or something like that. You could just simply disarm it. If you go into the security button, you can have your camera set up on a schedule, and it also has geofencing. So if you want it to know when you're home or know when you're away and automatically set the camera for away, it'll detect by your phone whether or not you're within the range of the camera, and then when you go out of range, it'll set it to away. The other thing that's really nice about a wireless system is it isn't dependent on any kind of power or Wi-Fi in order for the camera itself to work. You need the Wi-Fi to connect to it, but the camera, if it's triggered, is going to record an event even if your Wi-Fi is down or your power is off. And then once your power and Wi-Fi are restored, you can go in and see those events that it recorded. So that is a very nice thing to have. The camera system is not perfect. I did discover 2 things. Now, my camera is about 40 feet away from my Wi-Fi antenna, and it has a weak signal. If you look at the screenshot I had, you could see that my internet signal actually shows as just 1 bar. Now this didn't impact my ability to connect to it in any way, but I can't imagine that I'd want to put that camera any further away than that. The other thing that I noticed is when I changed those sensitivities, sometimes the changes didn't take effect right away, and I actually had to go in and turn off the motion sensitivity and turn the motion sensitivity back on, and then everything was updated and took effect, and that solved the problem. But overall, this is an exceptional camera. At one of my locations, I think I'm going to put 2 of these in there with the geo-fencing feature. I've been having problems with the security camera system that's in there. I think this is going to be a very affordable way to replace that. The things I like about the system: completely wireless, installed in seconds, excellent motion detection, just detect a human movement, works exceptionally well. I didn't have any problems connecting. Even when I'm not on my Wi-Fi, I can access that video remotely from anywhere on my phone. So those were all very positive for this camera. The price point's very positive. I'll put a link to the Amazon product down below. Now, Noorio is going to give one of my subscribers a free camera system. And as I've already talked about, this is an excellent product. All you need to do is be sure to like this video and leave a comment down below about something we talked about. We'll choose one random comment in the next week and reach out to you via YouTube to send you a free camera. I'm Robert. You've been watching Locksmith Recommended.